Live, Tapping Birdie, American Express with my best boys, Owen and Matt of the Draws and Fades podcast, one of my favorites. And when we did the CJ Cup, I was like, that was a killer pod, movie pod. Gotta have them on again. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. Just finished
Doing
wrapping
well.
up our podcast, and we're pumped to be back. It was, an electric factory last time. So hopefully you can convince us of something today, because I have a feeling we're going to be on a different page.
No, and I think the best part of last pod was that we were talking about Rory, and we're like, yeah, like Rory on these Fazio designs, like he just always gets it done, always wins. Like, I think if there's one place to play Rory, like it's here, and we're like, no, we're not gonna bet him. I don't like the number, and then he goes out and wins. So like we gave out the winner basically.
Yeah, that's true. We did do that.
We gave good advice. We just didn't listen to ourselves.
Yeah, no, I think that was, and like Colin was the same price. You couldn't bet both, but some guy that week DM'd me. He's like, dude, I just won like $75K on DraftKings, like, because I listened to TIB. And he's like, you guys convinced me on Rory. I'm like, well, we didn't even convince ourselves. So, like, good for you. But yeah, no, that was a great pod. And you guys have an excellent pod every week. So you guys know what's up. So go check out their stuff. Go follow them. I'm really excited for this event, even though it's horrible, makes no sense, completely random. But before we get into this week, we got to reflect a little bit on last week at the Summers. So I said all week, basically, and I was just like, look, Russell Henley is going to be the chalk of the week. Everyone's going to play Russell Henley. He makes all the sense in the world. Anytime you get to these short approach play, everyone plays Russell Henley. And it was just like fun for me to just shit on Russell Henley. Like, he's just like a fun guy to shit on. So I was like, yeah, he's probably going to lead, and then he's going to blow it on Sunday. And then, like,
you've done this for months, though, too.
Yeah, ever since I went, I'm like, dude, fuck Russell Henley. Like, he just can't win. Like, I'm just not gonna put an outright on him. Like, he can't. But genuinely, this goes to the point of like, you got to take your emotions out of it. But like, I'm a talking head. Like, I just wanted to shit on Russell Henley, so I'm like, fuck him. He's not gonna win this week. And then when he had that fight, and okay, he played so well on the front nine. Like, he made 3 excellent par saves in the whole round. Like, par saves he usually doesn't make. He made like 3 8-footers for par. That's usually what you have to do to win Sunday. He made he had a tap it. Everyone talking about Decky's eagle. He made a tap in eagle on 9. He shot a 29 in the front. He had a 5-shot lead on the back and loses to Decky in the playoff. Now, my question to you guys, was it a typical Russell Henley choke job, or did Decky just completely run him down? Matt, what do you think first? Because I know Owen's fired up about it.
I mean, Hideki played great, but I think you got to give him a little bit of a choke job on this one, because he shot +1 on the back 9.
Yep.
It's a birdie fest. You cannot go +1 on the back 9. 18, he had a 10-footer to win, missed it. I think it's a little bit of a choke on him. Anytime you blow a 5-shot lead, you have to be held partially responsible.
Owen?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an element of the choke job there for sure. And it actually makes me, after the whole fucking choke job happens, I look back, and honestly, if Hideki had eagled 9 and Henley had birdied it, and like if they had flip-flopped on 9 and he only had a 3-shot lead instead of a 5-shot lead, I think he probably plays better on that back 9.
Yep.
He got way too conservative, and he still had a chance on 18. Like, that putt was not a tough putt, and he can make that putt. So, I mean, I guess I should be expecting it with Russell Henley at this point. And you were heckling me early on it at the beginning of the week. Great call on Henley outright. I'm like, thanks, Brian. I can feel the sincerity. And I'm like, you're going to regret the Russell Henley hate at one point. And I had it like locked in. I was like, I'm going to shit on him when he wins this tournament. And of course, like, that it just happened. It happened like quickly, because obviously he bogeyed and Hideki birdied, I think, on 12. Yeah. So it went to 2. But by 18, I'm like, oh my God, just make this fucking putt, please. As soon as it went to a playoff, I knew it was over. And he hits the same identical tee shot he did 10 minutes prior into the bunker. And yeah, I mean, at least Hideki made it like a little bit less painful by just hitting it to 3 feet, and it was over immediately. But
yeah. No, that makes me really happy that you were like ready to pounce on me. And everyone probably was going to, because all my friends bet Russell Henley. I'm like, this is so dumb. But as soon as he was first round leader, I was like, I mean, and this all would have been avoided if he was first round leader. If he was first round leader, and everyone cashed on it, I would have said he can go win this tournament. I won my bet on him, but I don't care. But yeah, I'm very quick to like dunk on a take I made. Like, I'm very quick to be like, I was right, but I felt really like, I honestly felt bad. Like,
because obviously you also like basically said Russell Henley is going to win the tournament with 9 holes left, and like congrats to all my friends, and then he fucking blows it.
I was trying to, I entered one winter at a PR firm. I was trying to get out of in front of it. I was trying to get some good PR on my side and just accept it early. But my best friend Jers, whose podcast this is on, go watch it on YouTube, go subscribe, go like the video. He bought, I hate to call him out. He's going to hate me. He bought a fucking ticket to Florida on the fucking back 9 because he thought it was that much over. So it wasn't like he had a
Jers.
It wasn't like he had a 2-shot lead with 2 holes to go. And I was like, congrats, Russell Henley. Like,
like you said, everyone was thinking it. I was already counting my money. I was like,
exactly. Like
5-shot lead with 9 holes to play.
Yeah.
It's
and he
really
looked
hard
so
to
good.
blow that.
He looked so good. Like, he made those pressure par putts, like, which golf really is all about, like making 6-7 footers for par. And then the back, I mean, it was really, and I feel bad, but I was right. And, but at the end of the day, it wasn't great advice because it was a 2-man race. If you had Henley outright, I don't think a lot of people did, but you could have hedged. Like, it would have been better to have. Now, I would have rather not bet it than like just suffered with that, because I probably wouldn't have hedged. I wouldn't have cashed out at all.
I didn't even think about it, really.
Yeah.
No,
that was tough. And like, and what I loved is I loved 18 as a playoff hole, because like, you like, I'm not a huge fan of Wiley, and like, just like, but like a lot of the holes, it just like driver out there 150, and like, so the fact that it was like 18's a birdie hole, I really like that, because
of course it was Henley's worst hole.
Yeah.
All week. Course.
Yeah. No, all week. But like, it's like, normally if it was a par 4, they would have just had 150 in, but like, it was just great to see like Decky hit like a fucking bomb 340 out there, get it over the bunker, have a 200 yards in, versus him then laying up, it's still having 277 in him. It was just, I love a par 5 ender. It just makes it so much more interesting, in my opinion. So PGA Tour, every single 18th should be a par 5, and every single playoff hole should be that. So next thing I want to talk about is Kevin Na, and just like, I don't really care like too much about like the situation. Like, I'm not like blaming Gooch not playing well on Kevin Na, but like just watching him on featured group, like just playing extremely, so like 3 minutes over every single putt, like so noticeably to everyone. It's slowing down everyone. It's making him, the people he's played with, worse, throwing them off, and it's just horrible to watch. And everyone loves to dunk on Kevin Na. Like, I totally understand that. He's a very easy figure to like dunk on and like kind of make fun of, because of how long he takes and him walking in putts, and he's kind of like a caricature of himself. So everyone's having a lot of fun dunking on him. And then Grayson Murray, I don't care about him. I don't like, I know he's like a MAGA guy, whatever. I don't like, I'm not like defending him or anything. He takes a shot at Kevin Na, and he's like, oh, he's taking 3 minutes on the green. And then that's when Kevin Na decides, okay, I'm not going to take it from this guy. And then he makes a joke like, oh, it's you missing the cut. It's like,
and now everyone's praising Kevin Na.
Like, oh, he burned him. It's like, dude, like, this guy sucks. Like, you could say that to like so many people on tour. Like,
everyone knows Grayson Murray sucks.
Yeah, like,
did you see him go on Golf Subpar too? And he was like, oh, like, it's not really a beef with me and Grayson Murray. Like, he's so beneath me. But you're the one who responded back.
Yeah. Like, it makes him look bad. And then the thing that makes him look worse is that, he, like, on the graphic, he's like, yeah, Brooks Koepka, like, replied and said he liked it. Like, that is literally the behavior of a middle schooler. Like, a middle schooler that's, like, not popular in, like, gym class. Like, oh, yeah, like, the really popular kid liked my tweet. Like, it was sick. Like, dude, shut up. So, fuck Kevin Na. I'll never bet him.
Fuck Kevin Na.
Kevin Na. I'll never bet him in any event or any way. Fuck him. He sucks.
And he fucked us on the first round leader too.
Yeah.
And he fucked us up. Yeah.
It's
I mean,
impossible
come
for
on.
Kevin Na to look cool after he lectured DJ at the match play last year
Yes,
on
and
the
the
2-footer.
DJ,
Like,
and like he does himself no favors. Like I just don't understand him. He just does himself absolutely no favors. But yeah, the DJ thing at the match play, that was horrible.
Yeah,
Like
we were
yeah,
this
saying
is
on our podcast, we're looking forward to all of the because now he's like really, really digging into the walk into putts in thing, which whatever, dude. It's kind of cool when you do it every now and again, but it's like he's going to try to walk in putts that are gonna miss, and it's gonna be amazing.
yeah,
So,
no,
I'm looking
and
forward to those.
that like his Jeff bet him out, right? He was on TIB last week, and I was like, he like walked in a few putts that didn't go in. I don't like that juju going away. But yeah, I forgot about the first round leader. He totally fucked us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, Henley
Russ-
obviously could have gone up and down on 18 for a split, but yeah.
I was at the Islander game. I didn't see it, so I wasn't that mad. But also at the same time, like Russell Henley first round leader, like my grandma could have picked that. Like anyone with
Yeah.
any semblance of like golf knowledge is like, yeah, Russell Henley first round leader. That works. Like I'm fine
Yeah.
with that. So but
Russell
yeah,
Henley now he's added to the list of guys who have led after 36 and 54 holes for me, but not cashed a first round leader or won the tournament. He's on the list with Emiliano Grillo. So he's in good company.
that's a tough pill to swallow. But this is why we do it. You
Yeah.
get your heart broken, you
And now it's
sweat
a new
all
week.
week. It's a new week. We're all hitting it out right. Like just in case anyone was wondering, because Tap and Birdie guarantee I will hit an outright every single week. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Let's get into it. Great intro. I had to talk over those 2 points. So American Express this week, we're on 3 different courses. It's a pro-am. The cut's after 54 holes, not after 36. It's a tough week. It's not, a normal like regular field cut after 36 holes, one course all week. So, the exposure, I'm not lowering my exposure this week. I just think that it's a little bit harder to predict, but I don't think that you should very much change your handicapping styles. How are you guys going into looking at this week, given all the uncertainty and variables and how it's very much different than a normal PGA Tour event?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally on the same page. This week sucks. Like visually, obviously, there's 3 different courses. There's no shot link. It's tough to track. The rounds take forever, and it's such a weird week. I mean, we've seen plenty of long shots win this week. So I think from that standpoint, you can definitely look down the board and try to make some frisky plays. So, but at the end of the day, it's going to be it's going to be another birdie fest. I mean, you got to look for guys that can get hot, and there is value on the board, especially since Rahm and Cantley are here. So it's kind of pick your poison and see who can make the most birdies this week.
Matt, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think you have to go about it the same way as normal. I think, like Owen said, Rahm is the only player in the past, 5 or 6 years who's won this at under 20-1. So you do have that long shot possibility. So it kind of makes you want to, lean more toward the bombs down the board, and it's always fun to do. But I think you got to go about it a normal way and, be realistic and kind of shape your card the way you normally would.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was looking at the wiki for this event, and people were getting to like 30 under in like the 2000s, like a while ago. Like, so I think even more so, like we always say, oh, it's Birdie Fest, going to be low scoring. Like, I think you can expect a winning score of like -28 this week. Like, I think it will get to that number. I was right on last week saying it was going to be 24 under. So again, I think
a lot to live up to.
I mean, if I can't hit an outright, I'm going to guess the score right. But all the courses, they are short par 72s, but we don't have shot link for 2 of them. So it's not like, oh, last week or like Wyndham. It's like, oh, you want like iron players, like accurate off the tee. But what I will say about this week is that driving accuracy isn't that important. The rough is not that penal. It's a POA overseed, so it's not Bermuda, but it's normally Bermuda. So it's like kind of POA putting. And they're going to play the stadium course twice, but I'm looking at really birdie or better percentage, par 5 scoring, like maybe some like approach distances, but I'm not a big like model guy. I like off the tee more than other weeks. But yeah, I mean, this is, people like talk about this all the time, but it's not, Wyndham, exactly what you're going to get. But that's why I'm just going with well-rounded players that are playing really well. Like, because I think that's better to go with in an uncertainty event than just firing on a bunch of bombs because Andrew fucking Landry won like 3 years ago. Like, it has no bearing on this week. So what I want to talk about is that a lot of people are like, oh, this week, like, I'm just gonna like bet a bunch of guys like over 100-1. Like, I think since this event is uncertain and like a lot of long shots have won it, I am not subscribed to that take like at all. If you look at this past season, dating back to last year on the PGA Tour, there's been very few winners over 100-1. Off the top of my head, I can think of Cam Champ, and I can think of Cam Davis. But most of these winners on tour are in the 20 to 60 range, and that's where I'm targeting my card this week. I think that it's a lot easier to be like, okay, like I'm just going to bet a bunch of long shots because they won here in the past. But I think the trend that you should be looking at more is just where the range of winners have won just historically on the PGA Tour event. And I would rather, like, if a guy in the 30s that's been playing really well wins, I would kick myself more than being like, oh, I threw $10 on like Hayden Buckley or like Adam Svensson or like Lucas Glover. Like, I would rather lose my money in the 20 to 50 range than in the long shot range when you really have no clue if they're going to perform well. It's so hard to hit an outright in general. It's even harder to hit one over 100-1 in my opinion.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. It's when even if you were told in the Landry year that a long shot was going to win, you never would have picked him.
Never.
So he went up to 200-1. You never would have predicted that, even if you knew it was the long shot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I will say I think they're like, in theory, still to me makes not like a ton of sense, but I think the numbers in the mid range are a little bit slashed. Like the guys at between 70 and 90 have similar probable win equity to the guys in the 30, 40, 50 range. I guess we'll see obviously, but I think that the discrepancy in a typical field, like you would be more confident in the 30s and 50s. Between 30 and 50 than you are this week, but I don't hate your point. Yeah.
No, and I'm also, it's more like I'm not confident in my ability to like pick an outright winner like 150-1. Like I'm probably not going to hit an outright anyway. So like I'm probably not going to hit it 150-1. Like it's just probably not going to happen. So let's get into the odds board. I hate starting every single podcast talking about Jon Rahm. We are completely skipping Jon Rahm this week. He's not winning. I don't care. No one's betting him at 5-1. He's not going to win. Play him at a hard event. I'm not talking about Jon Rahm. Next guy, Patrick Cantley. I told you guys before the pod, he's not on the official card, but I am throwing a FOMO half unit on Patrick Cantley to win at 9-1. You can get that on DraftKings right now. He was my first instinct this week. He was a runner-up last year. I really like how he performed at the Tournament of Champions after not playing for like 3 months. When he can pour it up, he won the BMW at -26. I like Cantley this week. The number's short, so I'm just going to do a little FOMO bet on him. I like starting DraftKings lineups with him. Matt, what do you think about Cantley this week?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think he's going to play well this week. There's no reason to believe he won't. He played really well on Sunday last year. He almost won. I think he shot like a 61 on Sunday. He almost chased down Si Woo. I remember he was getting ready, practicing if it went to a playoff. So, I think he's very live. I just can't possibly bet him under 10-1.
Yeah, no, it's a tough price. Oh, and you were thinking about him in one and done this week?
Yeah, I'm thinking about him in one and done. I mean, obviously he's like in the elite class of guys that you could potentially take at any event he's playing in. But in this course in particular, I mean, he obviously has good course history. The field is pretty underwhelming. I can't imagine him not playing well and not finishing with a good position. And coming off picking Sungjae in one and done last week, I'm kind of looking to get back on the right track. But yeah, his statistics are just insane over his last 36 rounds in this field. I mean, he's first in strokes gained total on shorter courses under 7,200 yards. I mean, his ball striking approach, he's all top 3. Birdie is a better game. Anything you're looking at, Patrick Cantley's going to pop this week. But in the outright market, not for me. One and done might be the move.
I think it's a good one and done play. Scotty Scheffler, I think Scotty is the ultimate forgotten guy this week. I think that because of the fact he hasn't played the last 2 weeks, and I definitely prefer Scotty at tougher events, and his number's horrible at 19-1 for a guy that's literally never won on tour. I think he's the forgotten guy. Decky was kind of the forgotten guy last week, so I think Mayo talks about a one and done strategy of take the elite guy that's not being talked about, and it worked last week. I don't really see it with Scotty this week. I have no, like, this is the last event I would ever bet him at. So I really want no part of him this week. Next guy. So I always ask my guests to send me their card just so I can, kind of give them an alley-oop. Oh, why do you like this guy? Whatnot. And I get your card and I look at my card and we are all on Sanjay M. I got a 21 to 1 on him. So there's really no chance he wins now, but this is the guy we're all on. So if you're going to bet somebody, I would bet Sanjay M. Owen, what do you like about Sanjay M this week, and why did you want to start your outright card with him?
Well, for one, obviously he's played well here before. He's played here 3 times, 2 12ths and a 10th. And I just can't imagine him playing poorly in back-to-back weeks. I mean, obviously I took him in 1 and done last week. He misses the cut. But just the way we saw him finish the fall swing, obviously he wins the Shriners, finishes top 10 at the CJ Cup and the Century. Short course, I could just see him getting locked in with his irons this week. And I feel like of the guys up here, I'd be confident in him being able to kind of take down really whoever's standing in his way on a Sunday. We've seen him win on tour before. I think Sunday's going to be good this year, and I think this is a perfect setup for him. I obviously thought the same last week, but I thought 21 to 1 was a pretty good number, and I think he's a consistent golfer you can kind of trust.
Yeah, no, I think that Shriners is my favorite comp. I really like that comp here. He won earlier in the year at Shriners. And I think that I don't know why he didn't play well last week, but I just don't really like him on a tight plotters course. I like a place where he could just rip it off the tee and not have to worry about like penalties. There is some water, but I think this course suits him a lot better than last week. And I like Shriners as a comp, and a lot of he was like my max play mortgage bomb at TOC, and I guaranteed he would finish in the top 10. He did. And the reason I liked him there is because the last 2 lowest scoring events, Shriners and BMW, he was like right there. And those were 2 courses where you can kind of get after it off the tee. And I just kind of had a feeling that off a miscut, I like Sanjay. I don't want to start my card with anyone else, and I'm not really going with the bomb approach. So why not go back to Sanjay? Matt, what did you like about Sanjay?
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys covered a lot already, but I like that, even though he played bad last week, like you mentioned, he was good at the Tournament of Champions. So it's not like he's coming in and the only appearance we've seen from him this year is a bad one. He was good in, 2 weeks ago. So I'm not like completely discouraged by last week. He plays well in these shorter courses. Top 10 in the field in the last 32 rounds on Pete Dye courses as well.
Yep.
That's the stadium course there. So we're going to be seeing 2 rounds there, hopefully, from him. If not, we're going to get a lot of trouble. But, yeah, no, I like him for, all the reasons you guys mentioned, plus those. I expect him to turn it around this week.
All right, let's do it. Sanjay and outright winner, 21 to 1. We all hit it. Clip it. We did it. We're all on the same guy. I'm glad we came to that conclusion. Tony Finau, no, I don't really want any part of Tony this week. He's obviously kind of dispelled the myth that he can only contend at harder events and majors by winning the Northern Trust. That was a pretty low-scoring event. But first, no, he played TOC. I think he was pretty average. Didn't play last week. Again, the number's not great on a guy that doesn't really win that much. I think Sanjay M has a lot more win equity right there. So Tony Finau, I think he's going to be a little bit overlooked, but I really want no part of him. I bet a lot of guys 2 weeks in a row. And the only guy I didn't was Corey Connors. So I'm really hoping Corey doesn't contend this week, but I like Corey on more of a ball strikers course where iron play is heavily, obviously iron play is important every week, but like a Wyndham course or like just hit every fairway, hit every green. These are more like stadium resort style courses. Like I just don't like Corey Connors here, but I could, eat my words and bet all the guys I bet last week except for Corey, and I was really high on him this last week, and he played well. But what do you guys think about Corey?
I think similar to Finau. Like if he's not going to putt like at least above average, like he's not going to give himself a chance to get to 25, 26 under. So I think he's too low too. And in terms of win equity, I don't expect Corey Connors to win more than twice in a PGA Tour season. So it's tough to bet him at 24 to 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Connors is going to make enough putts to win this week.
Yeah, no.
We talked about how low that number is going to get.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough for him to get there without,
Yeah.
with the way he putts.
Yeah, I like Corey's. I like Corey at maybe Valero. I like him at the Masters. Like I don't know if this event suits him really well. I know Andy's on him, but we'll see. I think he's a little bit forgotten. So Matt's right.
He can get hot, and you never know with him. So
yeah, I'll be okay if he doesn't get it done. Matt is wearing the Fletcher Azul hat. You guys both bet. Abe answer. Pete Dye specialist off a miscut. Shocked. Abe missed the cut last week. Matt, you're wearing. No, I obviously missed the cut. Like, come on, it's Abe. No, I'm kidding. I have no. But it was funny because a lot of people that like hate like Abe answer and don't really bet him were like, all right, well, we'll bet Abe this week, and he missed cut. So I'm sure that doesn't help anyone's feeling towards him. But Matt, you kind of look like Abe a little bit, and you're wearing the Fletcher Azul hat. You're very handsome, just like Abe. What do you like about Abe this week? Is it the Pete Dye thing? And
yeah, Pete Dye specialist, short course specialist. He's really good at these, under 7,200 yards. He's been great at this course. He came 5th last year. He was 2nd in 2020. He really had a chance to win that one. He got hot on Sunday, and he tied Landry at one point. He ended up closing it out at the end, but he had a real shot to win that one, pick up his first win. I think Abe's going to bounce back this week. I like that he has 2 events under his belt already. He didn't play well last week, but he doesn't really play the Sony that well typically, and it hasn't affected him going into this event yet. So I think he bounces back this week. Like you said, he always, is in contention here on these Pete Dye courses. I expect this week to be no different.
Yeah, it's impossible to not bet Abe on an Abe track where he's, shows up every year. So, I mean, I like Abe a lot this week. It was impossible for me not to take. I thought we might get a little bit better of a number considering he played pretty poorly at the TOC and at the Sony. But you also never see him lose over 2.5 strokes putting in back-to-back weeks. I mean, he's always an above-average putter, pretty much regardless of the surface. So I think he'll bounce back with the putter, and everything else has actually looked pretty good. I mean, he gained strokes on approach last week while he missed the cut. So I think if he can get his irons going, he'll be able to make some birdies as he always does here. So
I don't want to put you guys on the spot. What like Pete Dye tracks does he always do? Is he like good at the Players? Like what like Travelers? He was good at the Travelers. Like what are his Pete Dye courses that all these stats come up as? I mean, you guys are Abe super fans, so like if anyone would know, I would hope it would be you guys.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually.
I don't what are I don't know. Well, Abe, I'm sure it's a great bet.
More for me, it's the shorter courses, honestly.
Yeah. No, well, we'll see. I'm not on Abe. I bet like basically every single person around him. So he was not going to be on my card. And he's not a guy I really bet. I'm glad you guys were on him at the St. Jude because that would have been tough if you guys weren't on him at the one event that he won. So
I will say Heritage is a Pete Dye course.
Heritage, he's good there. Yeah.
Harbor Town.
Yeah. All right. Back-to-back Abe answer chalk weeks. I'm excited to see it. So I have a little take. I bet this guy, Taylor Gooch. So if you go on DraftKings right now, his number is literally horrible. He's 20-1 on DraftKings, which is just genuinely disgusting. That is a horrible price. But you know whose else number was horrible on DraftKings and then he went on to win? Cam Smith 2 weeks ago. I think the books know that Taylor Gooch is winning this week. That is why I bet him. I think that his number is so bad because a lot of times these mid-range guys get priced very poorly, and because the books, they're time travelers and they know he's going to win this event. So I'm on Taylor Gooch. I was on him last week. I played him in one and done. He has really good course history here, even when he wasn't as elite of a player as he is now. He's someone that I bet last week. I've been a high on him. Maybe I'm chasing a win because I wasn't on him at the RSM, but I just really like Gooch here. He can obviously make a bunch of birdies. He can get really hot with his approach play, and everyone's talking like these are really long rounds and like he like didn't really play well with Knob, but then why does he have such good course history here? Like if I genuinely didn't play a golfer because it was a slow round, and like that would just be the most absurd take in the world. So again, I really like this. I got a 20. Again, I don't recommend betting him a 20-1, but I got a 30 on him. So I just think that's a good number. And again, instead of trying to find some crazy long shot, I'm just going to be riding the golfers that have just consistently been playing really well, and hopefully that trends towards a win. So I'm on Gooch here. Next guy, he was cursed this week. I don't really subscribe to that, but Matthew Wolff was picked by Jason Sobel, and he's the most tipped golfer. And I think that if you, again, have any semblance of golf,
he's going to miss the cut.
No. I think he's probably going to finish like T17, maybe. I say T17. He's not missing the cut. I really do not think he will miss the cut. But
we'll see.
Because I always look at that like Field Friday. Like I'm always like, just okay. What is my first gut? Is like Matthew Wolff. Like par 5 scoring, birdies are better. I like off the tee this week. Like he fits all those boxes. Had an unbelievable fall swing. I'm very much so like I'm gonna play the chalk. Like I'm gonna play the most obvious play because like that was my first instinct, and like usually it doesn't come out right. But ever since Cam won, I'm like I'm playing the chalk. I don't care, and I do want to point out that the last 2 weeks, Cam Smith was one of the high, like literally, if not the highest owned, like one of the highest owned guys on DraftKings last week. He went out and won. Russell Henley was one of the highest owned guys on DraftKings last week. He basically won. He was right there. So Matthew Wolff, he's probably going to be one of the highest owned guys. I think that people are smart, and I think that we might get a community win. So I'm on Matthew Wolff. I don't like that he hasn't played the last 2 events, but like whatever. Matt, you got to take on Wolff.
Yeah, well, 2 things. You kind of led into my first point about him not playing the last 2 events. I think the stat was like 12 of the last 13 winners have played at least one of the 2 Hawaiian swing events, which doesn't bode too well for him. Also with Wolff, I feel like he's kind of like a really volatile player. So I almost prefer him when he's like at a way longer number, like the 85-1 Matt Wolff week, where the upside's still there, but you never know what you're getting. I just don't trust him this high up on the board. He could play really bad any given week, and he could play well too. But I think like he has plenty of weeks where he's very bad.
Yeah, I think the thing is that just how good he played during the fall, I just don't think he's going to be priced like that again. And I think that his good play keeps going. And again, I said I like Summerlin as a comp. He finished second there 2 weeks in a row.
I think like at this event last year and like these early season events last year, he was like around like 25-30-1. And then by the middle of the season, we were getting him at like 85.
No, he was. Yeah. He was at 25-1 last year because I bet him at 25-1. He most certainly did not win. So
yeah, he came in like 40. He's not good here. Not good at this event.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, he obviously could definitely win an event where you need to make a ton of birdies. He can get super hot. We've seen it plenty of times.
He did it at the 3M or whatever it was. His first win.
Yeah.
It was like a birdie fest.
Yeah.
So he can do it, but I just don't like to bet him when he's like near the top of the board because a lot can go wrong.
Yeah, but I just don't think we're going to get those numbers because he played so well in the fall. And like, I just, obviously I think he's going to win this week. I mean, that's pretty clear, but like, so you're definitely not going to get a good number on him ever again. But I don't know. I'm just not going to not bet a guy because like everyone's on him. Like that's kind of my thing. I'm usually on that guy. So like, I'm not about it, but look, I don't think I'm going to play him in placement. Like, I don't think I'm going to bet. Like, I think I'm just going to go outright or bust on Matthew Wolff this week. Like, it just bet it and forget it. He'll probably finish T22, but I'm fine with that. Like, that works for me. Like, it's okay. No skin off my back. Next guy, I'm betting Seamus Power. I can't quit this guy. Like, I just think he's very much so trending towards a win. And this is kind of the tough thing about, handicapping golf and doing it this every week and putting out your card every week and doing content. It's like you bet a guy 1 week and it's like, what fundamentally changed from the week to next other than the course? If you really think they're that talented and they're really playing that well, like I would rather stick with my guys that I think are playing well right now than just go off the rails and just bet a bunch of guys 100-1. So I'm keeping it tight in the 30 range. I got a 30 on him. I got a 33-1 on Power. And the thing about him is that he's just like a strokes gained savant. Like, you pull up Fantasy National, you pull up Rick Run Good, you pull up any website, and you go to total strokes gained over the past 50 rounds, and he's like, it's like Rahm, Cantley, and Seamus Power. You're like, what the fuck is he doing there? But I'm going to bet a guy that's just super consistent. Like, we talk about a guy that's volatile, like Matthew Wolff. Seamus has just been unbelievable. So many top 20s, like T5, like finished within the top 5 last week. Like, I know he won the Barbasol, and, you know, that's a shitty event, but I just think he's trending towards a big win in a big field, and I'm not ready to hop off him.
Yeah, he's certainly been one of the most consistent. Again, this is where I was talking about kind of in the beginning. I feel like, I don't know if that is the number I'd be looking for on Power typically, but because of the field, I think, you know, and the way he's played, he's obviously kind of moved his way up the odds board, and now you kind of get him at this number until he has a couple bad weeks, and you might catch him closer to 70 eventually, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, I just think like,
I totally agree with the consistency thing though.
Yeah.
If you think, like, I did that with Burns last year, and me and Matt obviously both did it with Abe. Like, if you see the potential for a victory there, like, you have to stick with your guns, because you're going to hate yourself if you don't take him a certain week just because you convince yourself of one little thing, and like, or you're tired of losing money on him, whatever the case may be, and then he wins that week. Like,
and I'm good for like the next like 6 weeks and not hitting it outright since I hit one. So like, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm good. Like, I could bet like nobody. Like, I'm good for a little bit. Patrick Reed has literally no shot. Do not play Patrick Reed this week. He's not winning. I can guarantee it. Patrick Reed will not win this year's event. He's at a horrible number. Don't bet him. I don't even want to talk about it. Russell Henley, he's coming back. He's coming back for blood. I think I would want nothing more than Russell Henley to win this week, and legitimately not a single soul would bet him, because I don't think a single person would bet Russell Henley this week.
Yeah, I can't do it. I really wanted to, but I bet him last year here too at 30-1. And now he's at 36-1 coming off a really good week. It's just like, I don't know, man. I think like mentally that's so painful to be that close and blow it and then come right out the next week and fire a ton more birdies out there. I mean, clearly his irons are on fire and he's going to give himself plenty of looks, but if he has to compete with anyone above him on the odds list on Sunday, it's really hard to trust him. So
yeah, I mean, I don't want to go back to this Henley thing, but like, what more can you want? Like, what situation would you put him in that he's more primed to win than last week? 5-shot lead on the back nine. Like,
there's no other situation.
Like,
I can only hope that like there's so much scar tissue now that he'll just be like immune to it eventually. And like, I'm gonna fucking lose and like not care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, once he gets there, maybe he'll start playing well on the back nine of a Sunday, but I can't fucking do it.
Yeah, it could be like a situation like, well, it can't be worse than when I blew the 5-shot lead on the back nine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just like if you could like drop Henley in a situation on a golf tournament to like go out and win, like realistically, like, yeah, a 5-shot lead on 18. Okay,
2-shot lead on a par 3, 18.
Yeah, like if you could just transplant and be like, you got a 5-shot lead on a course that fits you perfectly, like, go win. Like, he couldn't even do it. So no more dunking on Russell. Like, he's a good guy. Like, whatever, it's fine. Maybe
I will bet him again. There's too much.
Yeah, Wyndham, I'll be on him. By then,
he blew Wyndham last year, and it was like, oh, that was like such a bad choke. Like, this blew it out of the water.
I don't know. Okay, we're good. I don't know, because like Russell,
you guys are just ripping my guts out.
Like, dude, I had a big ticket on him at the Wyndham. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Okay, but like at the Wyndham, he like gagged like 3-footers for par and like made doubles, and like he didn't seem like he was in the moment. Like, he didn't go out and shoot a 29 at the Wyndham. So like, in that way, it's like it wasn't worse. I feel like the Wyndham was worse.
But think about how well he played all week, and then the back nine, like, +1. He went so low all week, and he's over par on the back nine on Sunday.
Let's move on. I can't do it.
Zalatoris, I'm taking Jersey's thing. You play him in hard events. I don't see him winning an event at 2,600. Don't like him. Cam Dringali, I mean, he's a loser. No shot. I'm betting him. Good DraftKings play. I'm sure he'll make the cut.
I'm taking him top 20.
Yeah, I that's the way you got to go about him. Like, I think that he's a very consistent player.
It's
not
crazy
volatile.
He's at like 46 to 1 now. That makes no sense.
Yeah, no, these odds kind of do suck, honestly. These odds aren't excellent.
That's
but
what
next,
I mean, like between 30 and 60, it's like.
Next guy, everyone's hero, everyone's favorite, desert golf specialist. Owen's on him. What number did you get on Ricky?
Well, so I haven't locked in and out right
You're
now.
just bet. You're betting it. You're betting.
I'm probably gonna bet him. Yeah. I mean, I see him at 50 on FanDuel right now. I don't know if there's something better out there. I really hope there is because I think he should be down closer to where Gary Woodland is. But I don't know. I think Ricky kind of figured something out towards the end of last year. Obviously, finished third at the CJ Cup. I mean, he made back-to-back cuts to end the season at the very least at the Zozo and the Mayakoba. And I mean, he's played well here in the past. 21st year last year, 10th in 2020. And I don't know. I think first event of the season or of the new year for him at a place that he likes. I think he's going to come out playing well. I'd like a top 20 bet on him for sure. And I don't know. I'm hoping we start seeing the old Ricky this year because when he gets hot with the putter, again, he's another guy that can light it up. And we just haven't seen it in a while. So
yeah, no, I mean, he was good at the CJ. I think that's enough. Be like, yeah, he played once well in like the sprint in the swing season. Like, I'm going back to Ricky again. The number's kind of shitty. Like, Ricky's a guy you bet at 80 to 1.
The bullshit part is too about Ricky now. He's at 50. Like, let's say he comes out and finishes 6th, 7th, whatever. I mean, I'm hoping he wins, to be honest. But his odds will continue to get slashed. Like, he'll just go back there. They'll place him as if he's old Ricky again, and you'll find him in like the mid-20s and 30s. So this might be the week.
Everyone's a place to bet him all the time. He's too much of a fan favorite.
Right. He's the anti-Patrick Reed.
Yeah. He's tough. Matt, you're on Seabez. What do you like about Seabez this week? I know he was popular last week. What strikes your eye about Seabez?
I'm on Bez this week. I like that he can get hot with the putter. So we talked about how low you're going to have to go in this event. His putter can, heat up. He actually turned out pretty well in strokes gained total on Pete Dye. I think he was like top 20 in the field last 36 rounds. Last week, he gained 3.5 strokes in approach. He was actually decent off the tee, which is usually his weakness. And that's, the major weakness in this game is he's pretty bad off the tee. But this week, there's kind of some layup type situations. We talked about the rough not being that penal. So hopefully that's not going to kill him that much this week. And he can get hot enough with the putter. I'm going to take a shot on him, 55 to 1. I kind of like his game. I haven't taken him before outright. So this will be the first time, but
so you got no scar tissue, so you're ready to go on him.
I'm ready to go. Yeah, I always like betting a new guy.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. I think that can work. We're moving down. This guy has gained the most strokes at this event than anyone by a long shot. Adam Hadwin. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think that like he's shown that he can play really well here. Has absolutely no incoming form or anything, but you could get him at 80 to 1. I think that's a pretty good long shot. I think that's fine. Oh, and what did you like about him?
Yeah, I mean, it's very simple. I mean, Adam Hadwin just absolutely tears up this course, which in theory makes like no sense. Like, why does Adam Hadwin have a course? But like, yeah, he's got 4 top 6 finishes here in his last 5 appearances. He never misses the cut here. And yeah, I mean, you look back though in the fall swing, and he has 5 consecutive made cuts, and he came 6th at the Shriners. So you talked about the Shriners being a relatively decent comp course.
Boom, done.
I like it. So that was enough. 75. You're not used to seeing Adam Hadwin, I think, at the 75 to 1 number recently. Like, you could have. I thought we could have gotten maybe a better number, but I'll take it.
No, I like it. I like Adam Hadwin. He has the comp course history. He has the course history. Boom, Adam Hadwin. Get it done. So as everyone knows, because I tweeted out before and it got like 1 million replies, I will be in Las Vegas this week. So I would be remiss if I didn't bet on one of my favorite golfers to bet on, Johnny fucking Vegas. When I pulled up, like when I was, just quick analysis of this course, like par 5 score off the tee, birdie maker, fucking Johnny Vegas. Like, I bet him so much. Like going back to like the 3M. And he's been a profitable bet for me. Like top 20. So I love a top 20 on him. That might be a mortgage play whale bomb. But he never plays well on. He won this event in like 2011. Doesn't mean anything. And he hasn't been excellent here since. But he's not going to win. Like, I bet him outright. Like, Johnny Vegas isn't going to win this event, okay? I can guarantee you, even though I'm wagering money on him to win, he's not going to win. But, this is like a fun, I'm going to Vegas. He has a course fit. He's won here before. Fuck it. I'm down for Johnny Veg.
Vegas and Vegas, yeah. I'm taking top 20 on him, too, this week. So,
well, what numbers you get?
I haven't placed it yet, but I'm thinking he's going to be like plus 300.
No shot.
Less?
Yeah, definitely less. Definitely less.
Where is he?
But
I will say,
no, he's plus 320, top 20.
That's I think my mortgage play whale bombs need to be a little bit, maybe like a top 30 or top 40.
A plus 320, top 20, dude. Make it the mortgage whale.
It's too high odds. It's not going to hit.
Yeah, it's going to hit.
It probably will. I mean, I love Vegas this week. We're doing it.
No, yeah, I made a model. He came up in 5th. So
yeah, I made a similar. I was like, I don't really make models, but like I kind of was like, I'm gonna make a model that I know Johnny Vague will do well in, so like I could just justify betting him. But yeah, I'm all over Vegas this week. I can't wait to go to Vegas. I mean, it's gonna be great. I'm very excited. So a guy I want to talk about that's like just gaining so much steam that I can guarantee will not win this event is Michael Thompson. It makes too much sense. He's playing so well. He led the field in approach last week. He's played well here. He's at like 100-1. I'm looking at odd checker right now. He's best you could get is 80-1. It makes all the sense in the world, but I'm not biting on these guys. Like I just don't. It's hard enough to hit an outright. It's never that obvious in the 20s. It's not going to be a community win on Michael Thompson this week. I wish everyone the best of luck with it, but I just don't see it. 2019 U.S. Open champion Gary Woodland. I want to say I watched the U.S. Open film on his win at U.S. Open. Had a couple beers, smoked some pot. It was so good. So if you like golf, which I would assume you do if you're listening to this, and you like documentaries, go on YouTube. It's fucking free. The editing, the dramatization, that win. That's probably my favorite major win over the past 5 years. So check that out. Matt, you're on Gary Woodland, making a little resurgence. What do you like about him at like 100-1 this week?
I'm on Woodland. Well, I like betting Woodland in general. Obviously has not gone well over the past year and a half. Ever since the whole COVID comeback happened, he has not
also
been
that
good.
weight.
Yeah, I think we need Fat Gary back. But I will say, he played one good performance at the CJ Cup in the fall. He was top 10. He played here twice before this event, 16th and an 11th. Talk about, desert golf. He has won the Waste Management before as well. And this is more just kind of like a potential play. I know he can win. He's won big events before. He could definitely win an event like this. He's had a long off season, so I'm hoping that he figured something out in that time. And I'm willing to take a shot at him down the board this week.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with it. Andy's my good friend, and he we did our major preview pod. And I'm who's set for a breakout? He's like, all right, I'm sticking to the bit, Gary Woodland, fuck it. Because Andy loves Gary Woodland. He's bet him a lot. And Andy loves Gary. And I think it's a good play. I'd like to see some form from him, but again, it's 100-1. Throw $10 on it, cash it, grand winner, just move on with your life. Gary, I think he's fine. I think he probably has. I'm surprised no one's touting Cam Champ this week. I don't know. Why not? Why not say fucking and bet Cam Champ? I don't know.
Yeah. No,
was he bad here last year? I think I took him last year. He sucked.
You guys, I gotta give it to you guys. You guys remember your cards from last year. Do you check it out before the pod?
No, I distinctly remember betting Champ earlier.
I have a funny one. I have a funny one from last year that I'll get to in a minute. But I actually, Cam Champ. I mean, I'm taking Luke List this week, and I think Cam Champ's just a younger version potentially of Luke List, guy who can get hot, but usually doesn't putt too well and can hit bombs. So at this course, with the rough not being penal, I could see that helping Champ out potentially. But yeah, now that you mentioned it, 101 doesn't look bad on Cam Champ.
Yeah, I mean, just like, why not? I mean, again, but I'm not succumbing to this bomb narrative this week.
Since it's kind of fun once you get down there, dude.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, $10. It's like, no, like I'd rather lose 30 on like a 20-1 than like bet 3 guys that like have no shot. So that's a guy I like makes, again, Michael Thompson and Hayden Buckley are like in the same class for me this week. They're like 2 guys that make a lot of sense that are over 100-1 that are way too popular and they're not going to win. And I'm always like flirting with this. Like, I always just go on my pod and say someone's not going to win and then like they could win. So like, I'm just sticking to it this week. Cause if I'm wrong, who gives a fuck? Like, I don't care. Like, yeah. Oh, if Henley won, which he didn't, like he would have shit on me. Whatever. I can take that. That's fine. That's cool. Yeah. I'm okay with it.
You probably get ahead of it. Like just a few holes before too.
Yeah, no. And then just jinx everything. But yeah, Jurors spending. Jurors buying a ticket is like the funniest. Whatever. He's okay. Back on track. Hayden Buckley, yeah, I like him for a top 20. Don't bet him outright. I think I might play him top 20. Very popular, good DFS play. Matt, you're on HV3 this week. What, baby swag? Like, is it the approach plays? Like, what is it that the fact that
he's taking him top 20?
I'm taking him for a top 20.
That's it, not outright.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, he can go like very low, but HV3 is like almost like a Russell Henley like junior, where he's in the mix and he'll blow it at the end. Not to the degree of Henley. He's like, I guess he's less in it than Henley is. Often was, but I can see him playing well to start, but I don't see him closing.
Well, I'm gonna take Harold to win at 120. Just a little bomb action on Harold. Maybe a little baby swag. We'll see. But again, a short course, I think he can get hot here for sure. And he has not played particularly well here. I mean, he has an 18th 2 years ago. But yeah, I don't know. I saw the 120 and I'm in this boat now. If Harold's over 100 and I see anything that could potentially work for him here, where he popped up like 8th in my model. He finished the fall season pretty well. I mean, he finished last season well. He finished 11th at the Northern Trust and 12th at BMW. I think he's just playing pretty good golf. So it's going to be a lot to ask for Harold to win this week. I'll say that. And that's why, once you're down here, it is like throwing darts, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with HV3. I mean, I love Bethpage Black as a comp. No, I'm kidding. But he was in the final group at Bethpage Black with Brooks and like literally shot like 8 over, and finished like top 40. But yeah, HV3, I'm down. That's just like my one thing I know about Harold Varner is that like he was in the final group at Bethpage Black.
Yeah, but he did it. Wasn't he in the Genesis like a few years ago too? He was like the same thing. He was in the final group and he like blew up.
Yeah, I don't know. Also at RBC, he was in the mix. Didn't get anything done. But HV3, we talked about everyone with betting. Again, like I always get to this point in the pod, and I'm like, I'm not talking about fucking Doug Gim. Like, I just don't care. They're not going to win. Like, I don't have any research on it. Like, fuck it. Like, they're not going to win. So, do you guys have your first round leader cards?
I don't. Because you know why? I fucking hate first round leaders. I hate first round leader bets this week. I mean, you have a better chance to win, but it's not the same. It's not the same feeling. You know what I mean? You're betting on potentially.
So can you not bet overall first round leader?
No, I don't think you can.
It's like
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Are you dead ass?
Why? Because like some of the events, it'll be like one course is like clearly easier than the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're gonna break it down. They'll have 3 different. And most books might not even do it, but you'll have like 3 different options to bet on each course. So all the odds will be slashed. It's just not as fun.
I mean, the only thing that I hear is that we have opportunity to make 3 separate first round leader bets.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to bet Johnny Vegas first round leader. I don't care where he's playing.
So Johnny Veg, first round leader. That's the bankroll for Vegas. I'm on it. I'm down. Like,
that's a beautiful way to start off your trip to Vegas.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't have a first round leader take. I usually just take the guys I take outright first round leader because, like, I've been burned a few times where they won and I just take them first round leader. Again, it's been opposite. But yeah, Amex, we gave you the winners. So just bet every single person that we said to bet. That's great unit allocation. You'll definitely make a good ROI on it.
I got one more point before you close this out. Doc Redman, I bet last year at 85 to 1. He is at 430 to 1 this year.
Yeah, he's kind of fell off a little bit.
I tweeted this out. I think
he's been really bad
last year at one point.
Yeah, that was a good tweet.
A little while, like a year and a half ago, I bet him legitimately at 33 to 1 in an event. He is 430 to 1.
Potential's still there. He's just got to find it again.
Yeah, no, I think around like the 3M Travelers, he was catching some steam. I think it was probably about them because I remember I bet him 1 week. I don't know what happened. Like,
well, we were getting shit on for that anyway, Matt. But now it looks like it was deservedly so. He's at 430 to 1. So
yeah, no, I'll be again. These are my takes for the week. A long shot's not winning. I'm probably not going to hit an outright, but it's not going to be a long shot. And yeah, so now the part of the podcast everyone's been waiting for. We're going to do our NFL picks for the divisional round. First game up is Bengals Titans. Titans are -3, over under is 47.5. So I'm very much like in tune with like square betting and like just drunk betting and just like what jumps out. In my opinion, the average Joe, the average drunk fan, the average person that just bets for fun would slam the Bengals. Like, I think the average fan is just like, oh, Bengals, Titans suck. They haven't been good to end the season. They're off a bye. Bengals just had a good win. They're the hottest team in the NFL. I'm taking the points with them. Therefore, Titans mortgage play. Andy's already on it. Titans +3 is my Titans -3 is my mortgage play for the week. Owen, where are you at on this game?
Yeah, no, I like the Titans too. I think that they get no love. They've been as consistent as anyone, and they lose their best player and show that. And the AFC, I mean, was wide open. Like anyone could have got that 1 seed, and they somehow snuck in and got it without Derrick Henry. Now he's back. I mean, Tannehill is always going to be a question mark, but I think they win with defense and the running game. So, and yeah, the Bengals, they win their first playoff game since 1991, and now we're just going to expect them to win 2 in a row. I don't know.
Matt, are you making it a 3-fer?
Bengals money line.
Oh, he's a swear.
Bengals are going to beat the Titans. Bengals are going to beat the Titans. Ryan Tannehill is not going to win. I love the way Joe Burrow is playing. They got too many weapons. They're playing with some swagger. Bengals are going to take it to them.
All right. Silly. I mean, because that's going to be like the early game Saturday. I'm going to be in Vegas. So, like, I'm definitely throwing $250 on, like, one game because, like, I'm in Vegas. So I think it might be Titans, but I don't want to mush Andy, but we'll see. I think the square side is 100% the Bengals. Next game, Niners +6 against the Packers. I think you got to lay the points with the Niners, right?
I'm a Packers fan.
Okay, so we have a biased opinion here. Do not take Owen's opinion here. I mean, I don't really have a full-fledged take on this game. I think the Packers win, and then they lose in the NFC Championship like they do every year, but
go fuck yourself.
I don't know. I'm just going to lay the points with the Niners. Obviously, Owen, you're all over the Packers.
Yeah, well, honestly, though, 6 points does feel like a little bit of a lot. But I will say Jimmy G obviously does not scare me. The thing about the Niners is that they are exactly the kind of team that could beat the Packers. Like their run game and defense, if it's playing well, could beat them. But when it comes down to it, if it's a close game, I trust Rodgers to get it done in crunch time. I don't hate the +6 play. It could easily be a field goal game, but the way the Packers have played, they're getting a ton of guys back off injury. Bakhtiari, Jair Alexander, Za'Darius. I think they're going to be locked and loaded, and this is the year, baby. This is the year they're winning it all. So I don't know. I don't hate the Niners play, but Packers definitely win.
Okay. Matt, what are you thinking?
Is Matt frozen?
I think he is.
I lost my connection for a second. I'm back.
No, you're good. Packers -6 or Niners?
Niners? I like the Niners. I think Packers are going to win. I like Niners to cover. I like their D. Well coached. I think they got a good run game. I think they'll keep it close. Packers win. Niners cover.
Now I kind of think they're going to blow them out. Packers are going to blow them out.
Could be. Yeah. I mean, on the square, I had a few beers and I like the Niners, so I think the Packers are the play. Next game, Bucks -3 against the Rams. I just going to take the over because it's probably going to go over. I don't know who's going to win this game. I think the Rams are the obvious side. I don't know how great. It really comes down to do the Cardinals fucking suck? Like, how bad are the Cardinals? Like,
it feels similar to the Bengals Titans game, where like you would think, like the Rams do like seem like the play to me because the Bucs are injured. Rams looked good.
Fade the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yeah,
like Rams, like. I'm so impressed with Odell. Like everyone kind of like shit on the trade for like a week, and he's just completely proved everyone wrong. He's been an integral part of their offense. Like I don't know. I just don't think that the Bucs go back to back, or I think it might be the Rams year. Square side Rams, and it's juiced up +3. I think you take the Rams money line.
I like it.
I like
that's what I'm looking at.
All right. I mean, parlay done. So I went to college in Buffalo. Like, I'm always going to root for the Bills. Like, I love the Bills. And they're +2 right now against the Chiefs. Again, I think that people want to root for the Bills. I think people don't want to root for the Chiefs. You know, they're in it every year. The Bills, you know, they lost 4 Super Bowls. Like, they're always like a lovable loser, and now they have a really great team. But again, I think it comes down to how bad are the Patriots? Like were the Patriots like really that bad, or were the Bills that good? I've never bet against Buffalo because I just wouldn't do that. I always bet on them because I like them and I went to college there. So I'm on the Bills. Do you guys like the Chiefs or what?
I like the Chiefs.
Okay.
I mean, it's tough to bet against Mahomes. The Chiefs have figured it out in like the second half of the season. They looked obviously very shaky to start, but other than that Bengals game, which actually the offense still looked good, the Bengals scored with them because they're a great team and they're going to beat the Titans this week. But I think the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC. I think they're the best team in the league. So I'm definitely going to take them this week. I mean, Buffalo's good. I think they're a good team. I think that's a nice win over the Patriots. I also think Mac Jones is not anywhere near prepared to win a playoff game. So
yeah,
it's a little bit overstated that they blew out Belichick because he doesn't have a quarterback that's capable of winning that game yet. But I do like
their defense played like shit too, though. But
yeah. I mean, again, I think you just take the over here and forget about it. I mean, this game is overwritten all over it, and the total's super high, 54.5. So I just say fuck it, just take the over. Again, everyone is like, don't tease totals like you're a square. I mean, no, I'm not gonna say it, but yeah, tease. I would just tease every single total down. I think every single game goes over. So I like that. Don't actually bet that. That's horrible actual gambling advice. But I'm down.
Everything down and bet the overs. I like
no, tease every over down.
Yeah.
Can't lose.
I kind of like that. Yeah.
No.
I know. But in theory, it's perfect.
Oh, yeah. I don't get it. Like, this is so off the rails. But, like, everyone's, like, shitting on like teasing totals. It's like it's a minus EV play. It's like, dude, no one cares. Like, no one gives a fuck. Like, we're not betting like $2,000 on a game. Like, I fucking lose $50 on a tease total. Like, all right, like you got me. Like, it lost because like they didn't score enough points. It wasn't because like it was like plus minus EV. Like, that's fucking bullshit. That is maybe like my boldest take. No,
that's a lock now. Tease the overs, lock it in.
That could like if I just want to prove to all my followers that like I know nothing about football, just be like literally tease every single total down. But it was a great pod. We hit a winner already. Clip it. We did it. We hit a winner. I appreciate all the followers that checked it out. Shout out Alex. Sent me a little money for Vaggie, the boy. He's a great guy. Love Twitter. Love all my followers. Appreciate it if you checked it out on Spotify or Apple or YouTube or whatever. Owen and Matt, it was a pleasure. Plug your pod. Excellent night.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate having us on. Yeah, you can listen to us on Draws and Fades. We may have gone down the rabbit hole of the long shots a little bit more, but that's kind of what we do on Draws and Fades every now and again. So check us out. But yeah, thanks again for having us on, man.
Yeah, thanks, Brian, for having us on. Always a pleasure. We'll have to get you on Draws and Fades soon.
Yeah, no, of course, whenever you want. I can't wait to meet your producer. I think it would be great. Can't
Yeah,
wait
he
for that.
just texted us saying teasing all the overs down. LOL, that's something I would do.
Dude, I appreciate him checking it out and watching to the end. And if you're literally listening to this right now, I appreciate you because we got gone so off the rails. So have a good night, everyone. It's been a pleasure.